I introduce you to the Discovery Show. Let your friends and your family know the struggles before the blow, their highs and their lows. Pay attention to this show. It will make you feel at ease. The Discovery Show on YouTube got the steez. Now Perry, the presenter, please pose for the camera. I want to hear you say cheese. We are airborne like a flu. I want to hear you sneeze. True. The Discovery Show is live on air. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. See ya. TDS TV, Yearn to Learn. Host, Harry Precious. Executive Producer, James. Life is a journey and sometimes can be a lonely road. When friends and loved ones forsake you, all you got to do is to be bold. I knew it years ago that those who undermined me had their minds undermined, but I never mind. They should keep on undermining because I'm a real good. I must undergo mining. Talking of mining, it leads to discovery. We mine to discover, we learn to discover, we observe to discover. Friends can uncover you at the same time discover you. But I don't want to discover you. I would rather discover more, so I go on the internet and I listen to words of wisdom and intellect. Availability of information, interviews of great men and women all over the diaspora and all nations. Creativity at its best, dexterity of research. No need to go through any formal education. I introduce you to the Discovery Show. Let your friends and your family know the struggles before the blow, their highs and their lows. Pay attention to this show. It will make you feel at ease. The Discovery Show on YouTube got the steez. Now Perry, the presenter, please pose for the camera. I want to hear you say cheese. We are airborne like a flu. I want to hear you sneeze. True. The Discovery Show is live on air. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. See ya. TDS TV, Yearn to Learn. Host, Harry Precious. Executive Producer, James.
Thank you as always for joining us here on the Discovery Show. On this platform, we say Yearn to Learn. This is a show that interviews professionals in the diaspora and beyond who are making significant impact in their own areas, be it healthcare, politics, religion, academia, and what have you. My name is Precious Adadidiodu, ably produced by James Kwabena Opon. And I'm extremely excited to be interviewing another gentleman, someone I call my own brother, someone I call a friend. And I mean, we've shared so many things together in time past and now. I'm happy to be interviewing Mr. David Ameyaw, the man who handed over to me back during undergraduate studies as a student leader. David, you are welcome again to the Discovery Show.
Thank you very much, Precious. I'm very glad meeting you again.
Amazing, amazing. Viewers, I mean, I'm sure you all know that there are certain professions that are touted as, I mean, quite secured. I mean, once you go through that training and all that, you are likely to get a job. One of them is nursing, isn't it? I'm sure you agree with me wherever you are. David trained as a nurse, but one day he just woke up and said, I've quit. I'm not doing that again. I'm going into something else. Do you think that was an easy one? If it were you, would that have been very easy for you? But beyond that, we want to explore what has been the income, or what has been the input from his end, that of himself and the team, and also the output from the work they've done as a result of quitting from his job. And that is what we seek to explore today. So we want to celebrate this unsung hero who has actually contributed to the lives of about 11,000 children and their families as well. And I'm sure you join us on this journey to explore his life. Just to let you know that David has been on this platform before. And if you want to know his life from the beginning to the end and all that, please visit our interview with David. I've put that in the description box. You can watch that later. But today we want to make the interview a bit more focused on something else, I mean, related to what we've said so far. So stick and stay. Please send in your comments, your questions, your support. Subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. The name is The Discovery Show, TDS TV. Dave, this is someone's first time of watching you or hearing from you. Just in about 4 to 5 minutes, just tell us a little bit about yourself, a summary of the key highlights of your life, and then we can take it from there. Who is David Ameyaw?
Great. Thank you very much. So my name is David Ameyaw. I was born and bred in Techiman in the Bronga Hafro region. I attended Techiman Senior High School. And afterwards, I trained at KNUST, where I trained as a nurse. That's where I met you. And after training, I started my national service in Obuasi, where I actually spent a year there. Afterwards, I moved to Kwapon Nursing Training College, actually in between Obuasi, the government hospital, and Kwapon Nursing Training College. I taught at the College of Integrated Healthcare, which was a private nursing school. Then I moved to Kwapon, and I was there for 1 year, 3 months until the sudden happened. And here am I. So currently, actually, after leaving Kwapon, after 6 months, I pursued masters in health economics in Budapest. And upon my return, took me about a year or two, and I started a position as health economics with Syrian Research Institute. That's where I work now.
As the country director, isn't it?
Something like that.
Amazing. Thank you very much. So, viewers, like I've said, I've put our previous interview in the description box. If you want to explore a bit more about David's life and be encouraged by his story that he shared with us, you might want to watch that later. But today, you did mention that before you used a particular clause, but before you quit from your nursing, work in terms of teaching practice to venture into something that we will classify as unthinkable. Tell us, why did you quit your nursing? As you were a health tutor, you were teaching in a nursing training college. One day you woke up and said, I'm not teaching anymore. I just want to go and do something. Why did you quit, David?
Well, I remember the day very clearly. I think it was a Wednesday, the 10th of March, 2017. Now, prior to this decision, I had been in Obuasi, working as a rotation nurse, and I've seen a lot of malnourished kids. And I will take you back before why I could actually focus on malnourished kids. But in Obuasi, I had seen a lot of kids malnourished, and I decided to want to intervene because of the story I'm going to tell prior to that. And I saw a lot of them. So one day I went to the nutrition officer, Sister Grace, and I told her, can we have the book of referrals? So we took the book and we started calling them. So we called the mother that has been referred to Confanoche or Pampaso, and the mother says the child is dead. We call another one, the child is dead. We call another one, the child is dead. Or the situation is very severe. So I began to think, what can we do? Because I know the consequence of malnutrition. And I began with some friends, Sister Sarah, Mr. Mwakon, and we will gather money, take children who are referred for malnutrition at the Obuasi Government Hospital, then we'll take them to Confanoche. So I will ride with the parents personally because they wouldn't go, they don't have the money. They cannot leave their kids home. So we have to make an arrangement for them. I take them to Confanoche with the support of friends who gave me money. Then we will go do health insurance, pay for their treatment, which will be like 2 weeks. And I'm talking about 2014, 15. One of the cases we spent 1,500 cedis then. That was how.
As they say, at that point, you had Koto, you had nothing.
No, my national service allowance was 400 cedis, So spending 1,500 cedis on a child was a big deal. But we did for a couple of kids. And if you don't mind, maybe I could share something here.
Yeah.
Present, please.
Yeah, that's fine. And whilst you're doing that, when I posted this flyer in a group, one person actually said that I have a case for you. Can you please help? So after this interview, I'm definitely going to refer that to you, and then we see how best we can help that child as well. So, viewers, we are speaking to Mr. David Ameyaw. David is a trained nurse, but as he rightly said, he's no more practicing actively as a nurse. He now works as a country director for Syrian Research Institute, which is originally based in Hungary, and they are actually international. And David is also the executive director and founder of HOLYSTIC Nutrition Organization, a non-governmental organization that is aiming to support children who are malnourished. And so far, they've been able to contribute to the lives of 11,000 children and counting. David, go ahead.
Great. So if you mind to share the screen, I would like to tell so here was I in nursing school that is somewhere January 2013, where I was going through the C3 ward. I was going to look for a case for my case study.
All right.
So when I went there, I saw a mother who was crying. And why was the mother crying? Because a child was malnourished, and this child had actually regressed in his development. That means the child could no more walk, could no more crawl, and could no more talk. Meanwhile, the child could do that initially. So the mother was crying, and I was like, what could be that condition which can cause a child to regress in development? We have been taught malnutrition and as nurses, but we didn't go much into the consequence. So I spent the next 2 days trying to read more about it. And I got to realize the consequences were very grave. Now, the consequences were very grave because, one, the child will not grow well. You see this child here, he's having kwashiorkor. Look at the head, and look at the face, and look at the belly. Now, again, the same way the body is not growing, the brain is not also growing. That means that such a child is going to have cognitive impairment, cannot learn, and by the time the child reaches high school, they might have dropped out, becomes a meager income earner, and finally, this child will become poor. And the worst of it all is that during childhood, when the child is malnourished and is not treated, by the time they are adult, they are predisposed for chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, the cancers. Now, the child is already poor as an adult, and he's going to be further pushed down the poverty line by these chronic diseases, which are very difficult to treat. So my question was, why should a child who made no choice about who should give birth to them and where they should come from and who their mother is, whatever their mistakes or whatever they did wrong, why should a child suffer such irreversible consequences? So I met this woman in January, and 2 weeks later, I met a Jesu Kwaso in the Ashanti region for my public health affiliation. And I met this boy, Robert. So you can see this was my Facebook post. The highlighted portion tells you. Now, Robert was a child we found on our school visit, and Robert was malnourished, kwashiorkor. So I asked the nurse, can't we do anything to help him? He said, well, we don't have any food here. We have to take him to Kumasi, Komfanochi or Pampaso. And I was like, why not? And said, the parents are poor, they cannot go. And that is when I got to realize that Robert's mother was deaf and dumb, and the father was crippled.
Wow.
Yes. So the mom was deaf and dumb, the father was crippled, and this is the poor where the parents will not take him. So I decided with my colleague Baba Alaji, who is here on the side of the screen, and with those days, my sister has sent me 20 Ghana cedis mobile money. So we used the money to go and buy soya bean, and this was fish powder that the fish, Mrs. Sawada, the mother pounded. And we also, we pounded the fish and also got soya bean powder and also got some eggs, and the father contributed some fruits, and we coordinated with the school canteen madam to fortify his foods and serve him foods at regular interval. And the stepmother too was preparing cocoa. So we tried to develop a plan. Very soon, maybe next week, I'll write this full post. It will be available on Facebook to see what we did for Robert. Now, and that is how we were able to rehabilitate Robert. And if the next year I went to see Robert, and that is him on the right. But just 2 weeks ago, about a month ago, I passed through a Jesu Kwaso, and this is Robert.
Wow.
Robert is now tall. He can write. He speaks so well. And when the mother saw me, I wish you were there to see. She was, she's deaf and dumb. So, she was so happy. So happy. It was such a blessing.
Marvelous. Wow.
Yes. Swim again. And now he's tall. I mean, malnutrition makes children stunted. But we were able to save Robert at a good time that he's tall. I'm told he's very intelligent at school. And now Compassion International has taken over Robert, and they are providing schooling support for Robert. So this was the backdrop. So for what I did for Robert was with me. So when I came to Obuasi and I saw that children were dying and they were not going and they would return to ashram healers, spiritual healers, I decided somebody must do something, and it was me. So I told you that story. Now, before I quit, so February 2016, I saw this guy. I was called at Obuasi Government Hospital to see this young boy, Joseph, and he was severely malnourished at 6 months. And this was the first case I personally decided to treat because we couldn't refer him. So I got RUTF from a friend, Sister Sharon, and we used the RUTF to treat him. I prepared the first F75 in my life and the first F100 and all that. We were able to treat him, and that was him after treatment. The before picture, we didn't get the best one. It was so bad, and that was him in 2020, 4 years, 6 months old, smiling there right in front of us. Wow. So I come back to quitting. So now I'm in Obuasi, I'm in Kwapong, and 10th March, I got this inspiration that I should go back to Obuasi and go. I was actually in a church service. I was writing notes. Before I finished, I had written my resignation letter. And the inspiration was that I am in Kwapong, I'm not able to do this work that I've been trusted into my hands. And as I left, I'm in Bruahafo, and it's difficult going back to Obuasi. And I know a lot of kids may be dying. So I had to go and do something. So I quit. This was me. This was some of my clinical supervision works as a health tutor. And I think I was a very handsome nurse, right?
You were.
Yeah. So that was it. That is how I decided to write my resignation letter. And Precious, you see, the interesting thing, you know the circumstance that surrounds my quitting.
Yeah.
I did interview with you just the week before I quit, we were in the same regional health directorate for our interview. And we went for medicals at the Sunyani regional district hospital or whatever, municipal hospital. So the day I quit on 12th. I left on the 12th of March. The moment I left and I got to Obuasi, by Tuesday, they called me that my mechanization was in. And this was a sacrifice. Now, first of all, when I left Kwapong and I gave him my resignation letter, my principal wanted to, help me. Maybe I'm destabilized emotionally. That's why I'm quitting. He did everything. I said, no, I've been called to go and do this. And he said, please, very soon your mechanization will be in. Now you're earning 400 cedis. Very soon you'll be earning 2,005 plus. I quit anyway. So when I sat in the taxi, the first consequence of my quitting was that the school, which used a school pickup to pick me, to bring me to Kwapong, now told me there's no fuel in the pickup, so I have to go by myself. So I could only pick a car, one bag, and pick a car. And as I descended down the Kwapong hills towards the valley, tears started dropping from my eyes because I knew I had bent that bridge. I wasn't able to recover. Then the next week, the appointment letter came in, they called me, and I said, no, I am not going to come back. So let's this the lie. So I was called, your mechanization is in, you can pick it to a different school. And I said, no, I want to do this. I came to Obuasi and I had to patch for about a month. Then finally Victor joins me and we got a place to stay. And the interesting thing was that we didn't have money. The only money we had was what we used to rent accommodation. Now, what are you going to use to feed these children?
Wow. Viewers, we are speaking to Mr. David Ameyaw. I know the story from the beginning to the end, so I'm trying to restrain myself so I don't normalize such a selfless commitment, because I am daring, but trust you me, I couldn't, because we were all teaching at the same time. I couldn't have taken such a bold decision to venture into something that I had no source of funding for, just to go into it just for the passion of it. It was a real struggle. So I'm trying my best not to just normalize it, because I have known these experiences for the past year. Like you've rightly said, at a point you had to go and stay with someone, what we call patching. At a point, you didn't even have money to buy food. And there was a time you did say that you even had to eat some of this food and all that. It's been a real struggle, really. do you want to expand that so that people get to know that such a commitment is not easy, yet with that passion and the desire to help people, you manage to overcome all these challenges up till now? There are a lot of messages in here testifying to this, which I'll read to you later, but you want to highlight a bit more of the challenges so that people know what the journey has been for you.
Yeah, so the first challenge was that I left Kwapon and the bridge is bent, and we come to Obuasi. And when I was leaving Obuasi to teach at Kwapon, I've given away my mattress, my bed, my gas cooker, my table, my desk. So I called a friend, I gave him that. I said, please, you keep the bed. Give me the table and the chair back. So I took the table and chair back now. We have a place, we have a room. And Victor had joined me. And we decided that, okay, let's go to Pampas and go and tell the lady who treats children there that this is what we want to do. So Victor and I took a step of faith. We went to Pampaso, and when we got there, we saw Sheila, and Sheila told us, "Oh, there is this organization that produces RATF in Ghana, Project Peanut Butter. They just brought us this. So if you would like to meet them." So I called the number, and Kali Edwards, who is now working for Ground Up Ghana, told us to come. We went there, and by then we had our first case. So we told her, this is the case we have, if you can help us. So she gave us 1 box of RATF to come and try. And when we went in and we brought her back the results, after some 2 weeks, she was encouraged. So we kept coming back and we started the project. So this is actually, if you see this, I don't know, this is a small, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Of when we started the Obuasi project. We started at Sanso. And I mean, based on faith, we went to Sanso and we screened the kids. Okay. We went, so that's Victor who joined me. Sharifa was there. That's me at the back. We started screening. We didn't have any commodity. We didn't have any assurances. So we went and screened over 250 children. We found about 40, almost 50 of them malnourished.
Wow.
That we had treatment for. And we went back to Kali and said, Kali, please help us. If you don't help us, we will not be able to help these kids. So you see one of them here. So we actually went and we saw Kali and she gave us some food. So this was a team then. Ofori, Richard, Mr. Richard, and all the other, that's Richard. And the team members, Bright also was a photographer and all that. So now I want to show you. So this was how. So we've got the RTF from Project Peanut Butter. Will come every week and give them the treatment. And that was how. Now, one of the things that broke our hearts along the line, so this way we were trying to educate them with these foods and others. And by then I had started losing weight because we didn't have food. I told Victor, you see what you are doing, it is something for the kids. You see, when these kids are malnourished, they will actually suffer lifelong consequences. But if we become malnourished, we can resolve it. It wouldn't have a lifelong consequence on us. That was mantra. That was how I used to encourage them with. Fast forward, we find this child, Hillary, 1 year, 7 months old, with the mother, right in the heart of Obuasi, has stopped. He cannot even crawl, and severely malnourished. And so you can see my reaction when I saw the boy, because it was so extreme. But when we got the opportunity to help these people, we went all out. So they will come to us and we'll give them the food. And at points, one of the days, Hillary's, so you can see my exclamation, it was so bad. But I mean, one of the days we didn't have food to give to the children. We didn't have money to buy medicines for them. We need to buy. So Hillary was doing well. All of a sudden, he started having otitis media, and we had to go and get medicines for him. So the mother told me, I said, go to the hospital. When I came, they had written a prescription. I had only 10 cedis. We needed to buy a drug of 30 cedis. And I went to one person past a pharmacy, and I said, please, can you lend us some of these drugs so that we'll pay back later? Forgive me. And he said, I'm sorry, I'm not a charity. And literally, I just wanted to lend a drug to give to this boy who was dying, but he wasn't willing to support. So I cried actually, and that was him. Sorry.
That's okay.
These are the consequences of malnutrition, as I described earlier, and that is hilarious for you, weighing like a 4-year-old child. Now, one of the sacrifices we made was that it became so bad that we didn't have money. Every money we had needed to go to medications. So we got to one person at Obuasi BDM bus stop, AOD pharmacy. It's a chemical store. He will give us a drug on loan. Then we give mothers, and when we get money, we'll go and pay. Now, fast forward, we needed to eat. Now we're so broke that we had to start eating the RUTF. Sometimes about 3 days on a row. That plum peanut we give to the kids, we will eat it. When you come by our bed, we will see a lot of RUTF sachet. From morning, afternoon, we were eating the same food like the kids.
You're actually competing with them for the same nutrients.
Yes. We had that in abundance. We didn't have money, so we needed to eat that food. Wow. Then, fast forward, we were so broke, and I said, okay, what do you know how to do? I know how to do sobolo. I know how to do yogurt. So why not do something? So I didn't have a fridge. I borrowed a fridge from Nana Fosia so that we could start preparing yogurt. We got some support from some people to start the yogurt business. And we'll make the yogurt, and we'll be at every event at Obuasi, the musical events. And people know us by shouting, "Hot spring rolls, fresh yogurt," and you see us carrying ice chests with yogurt selling. And one day, one of our students from Capon came to meet me. I was like, "Hey, say, come and do." Oh, I felt so bad, but I was motivated by the results that we were seeing. And fast forward, we've seen a lot of kids. You can see, a lot of them. These were severely malnourished, 8 months old, weighing like a newborn. A lot of children who are malnourished that we have helped. I'm going to show you the other pictures over and over again. So I think I will keep it here, and maybe I will, along the line, share some of the challenges we have faced again with you.
Thank you so much, David. Amen. I'm sure if you saw the advertisement, we said Unsung Hero, and you might be wondering, what has this guy done to deserve such a classification? But I'm sure from what he has said so far, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The sacrifices is made to a point that, someone who was going to get his normal salaries from government and he'll be comfortable. Where he was teaching, the standard of living wasn't so high. So he was going to be okay. He was going to save. He decided to quit that and then go into such, an adventurous, entrepreneurial work. And to the point that where to sleep was a problem, what to eat was a problem. But one thing you said that really struck me was that if you do not have anything to eat, it wouldn't really affect you mentally, physically to that extent compared to the kids. And that is what we call selflessness. Thank you so much, David. Like I said, I know this story. Go ahead. You were saying something. Go ahead.
Children, it's a lifetime consequence. It cannot be reversed once they pass it.
And I'm sure if you are watching us, you will actually admit and you agree with me that such an important adventure requires great support from everyone who can. As it stands, David, later he will tell you how he continues to fund this. It is not only by his own, money. People support him to get this work done. And it's a lot. The last time he was here, he said that during Christmas, for example, or ordinary days, they usually give packages to children, and it costs at least $50 per box. So it tells you that during this Christmas, he's already going to give a lot of children food and all that. It doesn't mean he has money sitting at the bank. And I'm sure we even know the economic crisis all over the world. Yet he doesn't, relent on this. And the last time he said he has a quota of a salary. He contributes to this particular, program every month. And I'm sure if you are watching us, you might want to also support him one way or the other. So David, just let's go straight into it. How do you fund this now? You spoke to us about people helping you here, going to, get medications from pharmacies. You were not given and all that. This has continued for about 5 to 6 years now. That's when the organization has been in existence. How do you continue to fund this?
Well, by God's grace, we have a very large network of people who support us. I must say, I mean, God is so amazing. I mean, I read something in The Alchemist, and it says that when a man set himself on a good journey, the whole universe conspired to help him. And I believe it's been the grace of God. Because when God blesses you, one of the things you will know is that you have the gift of men. I've had the gift of men right from the beginning. From Obuasi, we can talk about Mr. Mwakon Atocha, I mean, Sister Sarah, a lot of individuals, Raymond, Richard. I mean, it's a group of people who believe in what I'm doing, that constantly give towards every cause that we have to do. And as we are talking now, our team is on ground and they are mobilizing lots of funds. Joanne, Pili, Samson, Benjamin, who support. So I have friends from church, friends from different angles like yourself. You've been supporting us since the inception. And I mean, that is how we have tried. And you see, the interesting thing, most people tell me, oh, David, this is a good project. Why don't you go for external funding? I mean, try the government. We've been trying this.
Wow.
But you see, what we do, interestingly, it has left the developmental agenda of the country. Okay. And also, on the other hand, if you check all the USA, UNICEF projects and others into malnutrition, their focus is not Ghana, Yemen, and those places. And even in Ghana, their very focus is in the northeast. But a malnourished child in the northern Ghana is equally as important as the malnourished child in Obuasi and in every part of the country.
Absolutely.
So we say that every life counts. So it has been the support of individuals. Some people support us monthly. Myself and family, we donate, I mean, no less than $150 every month. We have people who contribute large sums during projects. I mean, it's been amazing. It's been the support of individuals. And I think that as we still continue to look for support from individuals, donors, and stuff, and trying to pursue government or international funding in terms of a corporate one, it will still be necessary that individuals continue to support us because it is very, very important. Wow. If you want to impact Africa, if you want to impact our community, this is the way we can do this. Otherwise, there is no way these children are going to grow up. One day, I was told a story that a man was saying the man was a rich man, and close to his house is a very poor home. And he didn't help the household to take care of their children. He was taking his children to school and blah, blah, blah. And now one of his children was a lawyer, and came back to Ghana. And one day, the neighbor's child had become an armed robber. So while the child was in his way from the airport, these armed robbers met him on the way and told him to bring his money and said, do you know me? Do you know who I am? Do you know whatever law? Do you know medical law? He was just, and before he realized, the guy shot him in the head.
He was gone.
Today, we could have all risen up together. But when we live in a society which does not care about the vulnerable amongst it, then it's a problem. If you look at our country here, we don't have any form of proper social support for the vulnerable. Absolutely. You live in, you know that if a mother gives birth, there is support from government. If a woman is pregnant, they have food stamps here and there. We are yet to get there. We don't see much commitment from government. That is why we need to continue to lend our hand to the poor ones, those that are vulnerable, and get to help them.
Dave, I'm lost for words. Like I said, personally, I know this story for all these years, but again, the more you speak, the more I get very moved at what you've been able to do. And I know that as people who all came from nursing background and were trying to find our feet, we were very ambitious people trying to go into academia or try to do PhD and all these things. And one day you wake up and decide that, look, I'm going to have a U-turn and go and start something, put myself in a state of hardship. I'm going to struggle. Yet the ultimate is that I want to help people who do not have the opportunity of even getting to where I am to be able to overcome such challenge. It is instructive, and you've said you've spoken some very powerful words, which I want to believe will guide our lives, everyone watching as well. That we all have to be each other's keeper, so to speak, if I have to summarize that. So I'm just going to put some details on the screen for people who are watching. If you are, of course, I'm sure you already touched and you are moved. Christmas is just at the corner, and perhaps you may be privileged to have a bag of rice, to have some chicken, and all these things. But these kids, like David said, it is not only an impact that will happen or a negative impact that will last for just a day or two, a month or a year, but a lifelong impact. And in order not to extend my talk, make it so prolonged, I'm just going to project the details for Holistic Nutrition Organization. If you have any sort of support for them, i.e., being money, you can send it to their Momo, you can send them through PayPal, and any other means. So I personally want to encourage you to really, really support them. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, we all can, in one way or the other, be able to help children who are really struggling with such a challenge. So thank you, and God bless you for agreeing to help.
Meet Mr. X, an unhappy businessman who has been waiting for days for his goods to be delivered. Unlike Mr. X, business is booming for Mr. K because of his efficient partnership with Hembeck 60 Hub, also known as HB 60 Hub. We are an online platform that sources for goods from across the globe. We only pull high quality standard products from anywhere in the world and ship them right to your doorstep. Be it watches, clothes, bags, and many others, do get in touch by contacting us on www.henbeckagency.myshopify.com, or you can call us on +233 546 022 952 or hembeckTravels@gmail.com. Hembeck 60, truly a world of endless possibilities.
Thank you for sticking and staying with us. So if you're looking for books, bags, watches, and clothes, across the world, please contact Henbeck 60 Hub. They will source the best of these products and ship it to you wherever you are. You can contact them on +233 546 022 952 or henbecktravels@gmail.com, or just send them a message through Facebook Messenger and they'll be there to help. So I've just put the details of Holistic Nutrition Organization on this. You can see that on the screen. Please help. The Momo number is 055 796 0191. Of course, if you're outside the country, you want to actually prefix that with +233 5579 60191, or PayPal, www.paypal.me/holistic nutrition. Holistic is LYSTIC nutrition, and the name there is Rose Amoah. Amoah is AMUAH. And I take the mobile number again, or the mobile number, +233 55796 0191. I'll keep this on the screen throughout the interview so that if you have any contribution, you can send it. I'm sure you already touched. I wouldn't have to speak so much. So David, tell us, what is the vision for Holistic Nutrition now? You're almost 5 to 6 years now. What is the vision? What is the plan for the next phase of your program? And how could people be of support again?
Great. So thank you very much. If you mind,
Hi, Dave. Can you hear me? You're on mute, Dave. Hello, Dave. Can you hear me? All right. So, David.
Hello? Unfortunately, I can't hear you again. Wow, I can't hear at all.
Life is a journey and sometimes can be a lonely road. When friends and loved ones forsake you, all you got to do is to be bold. I knew it years ago that those who undermine me had their minds undermined, but I never mind. They should keep on undermining because I'm a real good. I must undergo mining. Talking of mining, it leads to discovery. We mine to discover, we learn to discover, we observe to discover. Friends can uncover you at the same time discover you. But I don't want to discover you, I would rather discover more, so I go on the internet and I listen to words of wisdom and intellect. Availability of information, interviews of great men and women all over the diaspora and all nations. Creativity at its best, dexterity of research, no need to go through any formal education. I introduce you to the Discovery Show. Let your friends and your family know the struggles before they blow, their highs and their lows. Pay attention to this show, it will make you feel at ease. The Discovery Show on YouTube got the steez. Now Perry, the presenter, please pose for the camera. I want to hear you say cheese. We are airborne like a flu. I want to hear you sneeze. It's true. The Discovery Show is live on air, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. See ya. TDS TV, Yearn to Learn. Host, Perry Precious. Executive Producer, James.
I can't. Hello? I can't hear you at all. From both devices.
Life is a journey and sometimes can be a lonely road. When friends and loved ones forsake you, all you got to do is to be bold. I knew it years ago that those who undermine me had their minds undermined, but I never mind. They should keep on undermining because I'm a real good. I must undergo mining. Talking of mining, it leads to discovery. We mine to discover, we learn to discover, we observe to discover. Friends can uncover you at the same time discover you. But I don't want to discover you, I would rather discover more, so I go on the internet and I listen to words of wisdom and intellect. Availability of information, interviews of great men and women all over the diaspora and all nations. creativity at its best, dexterity of research, no need to go through any formal education. I introduce you to the Discovery Show. Let your friends and your family know the struggles before the blow, their highs and their lows. Pay attention to this show, it will make you feel at ease. The Discovery Show on YouTube got the steez. Now Perry, the presenter, please pose for the camera. I want to hear you say cheese. We are airborne like a flu. I want to hear you sneeze. Achoo! The Discovery Show is live on air, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. See ya.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please, I can hear you now.
Viewers, we are so sorry. I don't know exactly what the problem is. I touched nothing, but anyway, thanks for sticking and staying with us. So, David, we were talking about people supporting holistic nutrition organization, and we are saying that you can send your support through PayPal, www.paypal.me/holistic nutrition, and the name is Rose Ameyaw. Holistic is HOLYSTIC. And then the Ameyaw is AMUAH. Of course, you can send them MTN, Momo through MTN number +233 55796 0191. That is Holistic Nutrition. Thanks for your patience, for sticking and staying with us. And I also said that if you want to support through the bank, you can send that through National Investment Bank details. The number is 362-0085653801. So David, tell us, because of time, because of the technical challenge, what is the vision for the few years ahead? What is the plan? How do you intend to fund this as well? And what sort of support do you need from people?
Great. So as I said earlier on, before I come to that, I wanted to show something from the screen to show what the impact has been and what has informed what the vision should be. So this is, if you share the screen, you see this is Hillary, the first shot I showed you in the video.
Yep.
Is the screen sharing, please?
Yeah, go ahead. Can you see it? Sorry, Dave.
So, yeah. So,
you might have to show it again because I can't see it here.
Okay.
I'm not sure what is happening all of a sudden, but yeah.
So it's sharing now.
All right. Go ahead, Dave.
Great. So this is some of the outcomes we have had. This is Hillary when we found him, and this is the after sharing. Okay. So you see the before and after right before your face. So these were all malnourished kids that after treatment, this is what they became. Maybe if you could take the information up or to the side so that can see the before and after, which one is the before and after. But definitely you can tell the beginning and the end, right? You can tell which one is before and which one is after. The child comes in very malnourished and now is well treated and is in the green zone. Now, after we have done this for a couple of children, during COVID-19, we realized that these kids, some of them are really, 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 really poor. And one of the kids we found this child particularly was born, and in 2 weeks' time, the mother died. They didn't know the father. So it's the grandmother that was taking care. And so we treated him for malnutrition. And early in the time of COVID-19, we went to the house and the child was malnourished again.
Wow.
Yes, so we decided to start food relief project for COVID-19. And that time we could only do 10 boxes of food relief for the very vulnerable who are declining back to malnutrition. Thanks to the support of Mrs. Bachichikata of Backnov Schools, who gave us the seed rice and others to start this. And we went around distributing food support, supplements to over 1,500 children across Obuati, across 41 communities. When we did that, this actually was the beginning of something called food relief. We realized that it wasn't only enough to treat children for malnutrition, we needed to sustain them so that they don't come back to malnutrition. And for some of the kids, if we had intervened with some food support to alleviate the household food insecurity, then we could have been able to prevent these kids from becoming malnourished in the first place. So right now, what we do at Obuasi is that we still run our malnutrition clinics every week, but on the other hand, we give food relief support. So I want to show. So this was the last Feast of Hope. You can see that in the last Feast of Hope, we distributed 50 boxes of food relief, which includes rice, oil, tin fish, milk powder, food supplements, Tom Brown, eggs, and everything. And we did for 50 kids. And this Christmas, we are doing another Feast of Hope, and we are targeting 100 children because of how food and what do you call it? Food and food prices have gone up so much, and people are really suffering. So we want to intervene.
Hello, Dave. Can you hear me? Dave?
Life is a journey and sometimes can be a lonely road. When friends and loved ones forsake you, all you got to do is to be bold. I knew it years ago that those who undermine me had their minds undermined, but I never mind. They should keep on undermining because I'm a real good. I must undergo mining. Talking of mining, it leads to discovery. We mine to discover, we learn to discover, we observe to discover. Friends can uncover you at the same time discover you. But I don't want to discover you, I would rather discover more, so I go on the internet and I listen to words of wisdom and intellect. Availability of information, interviews of great men and women all over the diaspora and all nations. Creativity at its best.
Can you hear me, David? David?
Life.
Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Can you? Please go ahead. Viewers, I'm genuinely sorry. I'm not sure what is happening for all this all important interview. I'm not too sure what exactly. But please let us know if you can hear us now. Other than that, Dave, please go ahead. Unfortunately, I cannot hear you. So maybe I'm having a problem from my end. I genuinely don't know. But can you hear me clearly? Wow. Please go ahead. Dave, go ahead. Viewers, can you please let us know if you can hear us, please? Dave, go ahead. Dave, I doubt we can hear you. I doubt. I'm really struggling to understand where the problem really is coming from. All right, go ahead. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead, please. Dave, we can hear you. We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you. And it's coming from the chat as well. We can hear you. So I'm not too sure what exactly the problem is today. But viewers, please forgive us. And wow, it's quite disappointing to be having this challenge. Especially this interview is extremely important to me. But I want to believe, technology can mess up a little bit sometimes. So you forgive us. But whilst at it, kindly go ahead. Dave, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Better. I can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Well, great. So I was summarizing that we are working on a tool that can identify a child who is malnourished to be able to target them so that they don't, who is at risk of malnutrition, to be able to target them so that they will not be malnourished again. They will not be malnourished in the first place. And also we are working on developing, I chair the Ghana Food Banking Interim Committee. We are forming the Ghana Food Banking Network. And we are trying to see how we can develop the food banking landscape for Ghana so that we can get a lot of food relief together with Food for Africa and other organizations to be able to send food relief to people who need it most. But to me, what is most important is that we should be able to identify children who are vulnerable, intervene at the right time so that they don't become malnourished, and be able to help them to connect them to resources that can be able to alleviate the food insecurity situation in the household. If you mind showing the screen.
All right, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So this is some of the things that we have done under Nature to Prosper. I don't have a lot of pictures here, but this is Hilary's mom. The child who was severely malnourished. Okay. We gave her support to go to school, and now she's a teacher.
Wow.
Yes. We gave her support to go to school. Now she's a teacher. We have now, it's no more 3 kids. We have now 10 kids in school. That's some of us and some of our team members support. Because these kids are extremely poor. They are orphans, and after teaching them, they didn't have any kind of support. Backnorth schools gave us 3 scholarships. Winterfell School gave us a scholarship, and the rest we pay for their schooling. And also,
so Dave, what you are saying is that you don't just take care of the kids, but you even support some parents or some mothers of the kids. Wow.
Yes. So we call it Nature to Prosper. So we have provided money, seed capital. The first seed capital, we got it from Atocha to 5 mothers those times to be able to start something. And some of our mothers are doing well. Some of them have started selling, and now they have weaned themselves of our support. They can take care of the child in school, and that way the other. So we have other side projects, but what people know really is that we are feeding the kids. And this is the World Food Day just in October. We did this project together with the Ghana Food Banking Network, of which I serve as the interim committee chairperson. And this white lady here, as you see, is Carly Edwards, the lady who gave us the first RETF at Project Peanut Butter. And she volunteered with us in October. She's now running a startup called Ground Up Ghana. So we want viewers to support us for Feast of Hope.
Okay.
And we have Club 58710, which is actually a club for individuals who want to support our work. So this time, anybody who is contributing towards Feast of Hope, will send them a form later to join Club 58710 so that we know our base of people who support us, and we can get back to them, account to them what you are doing, and have meetings to also hear from their inputs what we can do. So that is it. So
if you are watching us, I'm sure, forgive us for the technical problems, but so far I'm sure you are inspired. David has so far with the team, not David alone, together with his team, they've supported over 11,000 children. They are supporting some parents of these children. Some of them have been supported to the extent that they are now teachers. And like he said, Feast of Hope. During this Christmas, whilst you and myself perhaps will be privileged to have a bag of rice, chicken, and any other thing you might think about, these kids and their families do not. And that's why personally, not even from David, personally, I want to appeal to you on this platform that if at least you can volunteer to help buy one package of, some of these things for kids. You can see David's people carrying the boxes there. And he said that even a $50 box, a $50 bill will be able to give a very fantastic package of items to these families. And that goes a very long way to supporting them. So I'm appealing to you, myself and David and his team, that please support them. The details are on the platform. PayPal, the name is Holistic Nutrition. But of course, when you go in there, it is Rose Amwa. MTN mobile money, it is +233 55 796 0191. Or through the bank, National Investment Bank, and the account number is 362 00856 3801. I'm here beyond listening to this inspiring story. One of my targets today really is to appeal to you that please support them. It is for a good cause. It is changing lives. And a year to come, 5 years to come, 10 years to come, 20 years to come, you would have been able to say that I also contributed. Perhaps you are not able to go into these rural areas to see these kids, but your $50, your £10, your 100 Ghana cedis will go a long way to contributing to someone's life for the best. So thank you. God bless you for making up your mind to support. David, I know the technical challenge has taken quite a lot of our time, but in the next 5 minutes, is there anything you want to say, summarize? Is there any appeal you want to put out? Is there anything I've not asked you want to talk about just because of time?
Well, you see, one of the things I've come to realize in life is that when you give, you get blessed for it. Precious, you know that, and viewers, those of you that know my story, you know I would have been the most miserable person on the earth. The most miserable person, the paths that I took, the journeys, the sacrifices. But 5 years down the line, I'm not poor. Now, exactly 5 years, on 12 March, I left Kwapom. Exactly 12 March, 5 years later, I was at the airport receiving our team of lecturers from Budapest who we work with. That is how God works. Okay. That, if you are dedicated to helping people, then God also creates help for you so that you will not be left behind in life. In Psalm 112, it says that blessed is the man who considereth the poor. He said that and his generation shall be blessed. And he says that God will make his bed. He said, you shall not leave them to the desire of his enemies. And so it is very, very important that as we continue to give, God will also continue to take care of some things that money cannot pay. I remember one of my anchor scripture in all this that I was doing was 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse number 8 and 9. He said that every man has a purpose in his heart, so let him give, not grudgingly or of necessity, for God loveth a cheerful giver. The scripture comes and says that, and God is able to make all grace abound towards you, so that always, having all sufficiency, you'll be able to abound towards every good work. So I knew that even though I gave out everything, I wouldn't lack anything. Now, there were times of difficulty. It was important in my development of character and other stuff, but God brought people, God circled me, and today I'm not poor. I am well sorted out beyond my colleagues that teach in a nursing training. If I was in nursing training, I wouldn't be where I am today. And it's not because Holistic pays me, right? So at the end of the day, what I know is that people who come out of their way and give, God is able to also bless them. So, Doug, you are not doing this for me. And besides, I've done this. We've treated children like this, these malnourished kids. We've treated 330 of them. 330 of them since we started. We've given over 2,000 food relief boxes since we started during the COVID-19 period. We are just giving 100 now. We have done 2,000 boxes already. And we have shared food supplements and others to several thousands. And that is how we get about 11,500, almost 12,000 cases of impact. So please, give in your token. Do not expect, oh, David, I mean, he will not say thank you or this, but please consider the children. Consider the children, because we have a lot of kids who are calling. Yesterday, I had to send money to one of the kids' parents to do our day food for the child, because they say they will go for our day. They called me, right? And we do a lot of these things. We don't even do it openly. Most of my volunteers, they take care of some of the people in school and others. So please, we are begging you, give what you can. Let us support these kids one at a time. You may never see these kids, you may never meet them, but as they grow and they climb the ladder of life, the blessing will accrue to you and will make Africa a better place.
Wow.
Thank you very much. I want to say a special thank you to my team. First of all, my right-hand man, Samson, Lawrence, Auntie Joanne, Fafali, Dennis, Pili, Rose. I mean, everybody that joins us, Peter, Barbara, and Victor, who are no more with us again. Everyone, and our funders, what do you call it? Atocha, Pili. Pili is doing a great fundraiser for us. Angela, Dr. Nim, Dr. Nim is Executive Director of AGA Hospital Foundation. He comes and joins us to go on the field trip. Our team, Austin, Bright, everyone. I cannot make, there are so many, so many. Even David Hagan of Galaxy Foundation. We have a lot of people who donate in country and outside the country. We are so glad you give Irene, Prince, or Hineba. I mean, all the guys, you know, our team, every one of them donate to Holistic Nutrition. We want to say a very big thank you for the support you have given us over the years. And also the Obuasi Nutrition Office, Health Directory, Social Welfare. We wouldn't have been able to do this without them. The community of nurses, they have been amazing, and the hospitals. So thank you so much for the support you have given us for the past 5 years. And I can say that every blessing that accrue from the changes we see in the lives of these children, they are testimonies to the blessing that also comes to you, and that will come to you. Thank you so much.
Wow. Just by 1 month's obedience, many lives, about 11,000 and counting children have been touched, and their lives have been changed for the best and throughout life. And not just them, some of them have also had their parents, especially their mothers, benefiting from such life-changing encounters. And we want to thank God for your life, David. We want to thank God for your life. You've been a blessing to many people, especially these cases as we're talking about. And just to show you some few messages, and then we run up to go. So Elizabeth Akaba says, wonderful life story. And Elizabeth again said, I've had a feel of David's works. He is so selfless. Of course, absolutely. Kwame Anot says, Kwame has been very helpful. He was actually updating us with the technical problems we're having as to whether he could. So thank you, Kwame. He said, I've actually had a feel of David in action. He knows and understands the social efforts and interventions in getting malnourished kids treated. Kudos to you, David. So thank you, Kwame, for that. Emmanuel Kofi, Daniel says, good work. And then we have Michael Osei-Shaman. Michael Osei-Shaman says, David is a rare gem and demonstrates true love for humanity, thereby expressing the same love God showed to the world in working. That is a very strong one, isn't it? And then Michael Osei-Shaman again says, working with malnourished children to restore hope and a future to their families, and by extension, the world. Bless up, Dave. So that is from Michael as well. George Chum says, kudos, sir. And Elizabeth, Beneza Akosa says, bless you, man of God. We have Caroline Isia says, David, I am lost for words. God bless you from all children of the world. And he says, virtual hug. Oh, wow. That's a virtual hug for you, David. Sefas Avoka says, kudos, David and team. Kwame again says, David, oh, that was about the technical H. Reverend Kingsley Ansu Asare. Reverend, thank you for being here. It says, great adventure to support. We thank God for Dave and his team. He's really an unsung hero, but this story wouldn't be forgotten by posterity. Man of God, you've also been incredibly supportive to all of us. The prayers, the advice, and many other things. God richly bless you, Reverend Kingsley Ansu Asare. Yeah, there are a few more, but just because of time, I will just round it up here. Dave, are there any final words? Let me show one or two more. Amponsa Esther says, good work, Mr. David, and may God bless you tremendously. And Esther again says that all your good work will never go wasted. Dave, just because of time, Oxygen, Alfara B says, wow, that is great. So Dave, just because of time, I'll end here with the messages. But really, what will you tell people? What are your final words to people?
Well, my final words, I would make it general. The general word I want to give to people is that do not be afraid to give. I mean, not necessarily talking about Feast of Hope, but in the world that we live. You sacrifice for people. God, the universe, or anything you believe in has a way of reaching back to you and blessing you. And it may not be convenient, but I've seen a lot of things happen. One day, is a gentleman who is a brother of mine. He's called Nanase and Ns Osei, and he told me that he wanted to use his birthday to do a fundraiser for HOLYSTIC.
Okay.
And he did that. Now, right after the fundraiser, he called me and he told me that the friends who donated to the fundraiser have called him, that about 3 of them, everyone is attributing a testimony they have gotten to donating to the fundraiser.
Wow.
And a week into that, he called me again to tell me that he has also been admitted to an LLB program on scholarship in the US.
Wow.
Yes. And an LLB, yes, a Masters of Law. Yeah, I mean, and he says he knows that this is what it comes. I mean, the world is full of many things you can do. You can take a child to school. You may not be rich. You can reach out to a child whose mother is very poor and is not in school. Just pay for their sandals or their uniform. You will be able to help. Let us be out there, share love. Let us bless humanity. You see, the truth is that one day when you die, everything you have amassed will not be taken with you. Today, if I die, I am a very fulfilled man. I'm still waiting to have kids though. But I have kids that call me every day. Their mothers call me on phone. Hey, Daddy, we want to talk to you. I mean, and these kids are all growing up, and it's a great blessing.
Wow.
A great blessing that you know that because of you, about 50 of, we know, like 50 of these kids, but for our intervention, would have been dead today. And I am to know that 50 children are not dead because we obeyed and you guys supported. So, to be more specific, I want to reach out to you. Please support Feast of Hope. If you are trying to give and you have any challenge, please let us know by comment on this YouTube video, and we'll reach out to you to provide support. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll be expecting your support. We are starting Feast of Hope exactly a week. So please help us so that we can buy the food and everything to be able to bless the children. And you will still follow our Facebook page, Holistic Nutrition, HOLYSTIC Nutrition, as spelled in the links, and see the updates of whatever that comes following that. Thank you.
Dave, you did mention from our previous interview that usually the box you tried as much
as so right now, because you know a $30 a few weeks ago, a 30 weeks ago would have helped. I mean, but now the dollar is almost even 7 cedi. They won't buy it. So so actually, because of the dollar is depreciating, but food prices are still going up. We are about 122% still since the year began. So about 500 cedis will make up for a box.
Okay.
A box, kilo of rice, 5 kilo of rice, and a crate of eggs and all that. So 5 kilo of rice for what do you call it? A box of 500 cedis. So what 500 cedis now would be more than if you check in a dollar equivalent.
Don't worry, I'm sure people can readily check, so you don't commit yourself. But like David is saying, if you have at least an equivalent of 500 Ghana cedis, so whichever currency you use, just Google that and just do that conversion, or use the requisite or the corresponding money transfer app to convert that. But really, like David has said, if you could deduce, personally, I'm not feeling well, but today this is so important to me that we had to do this, and also to appeal to you to add my voice to what David has said, that we definitely need to support these kids. If you make it your priority that at least, if you want to buy 1 box or 2 boxes as your Christmas gift for these kids, like Reverend Kingsley Ansu Asari said, posterity will not forget. Nobody may be able to identify you. The kids may not be able to identify you to say that you gave this amount of money. But trust you me, I know David. He's a friend, he's a brother, he's a man of God. And beyond just seeing those physical planning and all that, there's a lot of prayer that goes into it. Trust in God. And whosoever gives a cup of water to this project definitely wouldn't go the same. God will bless you and answer all your secret prayers. So just because of time, we'll end here, but we want to encourage you. Lastly, I want to say again, www.paypal.me/holistic nutrition. Holistic is HOLYSTIC nutrition. And the name on there is Rose Ameyaw. Rose is ROSE. Ameyaw is AMUAH. So that is the PayPal. If you want to transfer by Momo, of course, the number is +233 55 796 0191, and the name there is Holistic Nutrition Organization or David Ameyaw, depending on which platform you are using. So Ameyaw is AMEYAW, or National Investment Bank if you want to do bank transfer, and the account number is 3620085653801. After this interview, I'm going to put these details in the description box. I'm going to post all these details on the Discovery Show TDS TV platform and at my own personal platforms, Precious and Adidiodu. Please help us help these kids by donating something, and God will definitely bless you. David.
Yes, please.
It's been a pleasure having you as always.
I could also put in my personal number in the description. If somebody wants to reach out personally, via WhatsApp or whatsoever, you have it. You can for any inquiry.
I can put that in the description and everything, so that's fine. Amazing.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, Mr. Ameyaw. Thank you. God bless. And viewers, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you, especially for your patience. We've had technical problems. You've still stayed with us. We've overshot our time, but I'm not bothered at all because this is an all-important interview, if not the most important to me, especially at this point. So thank you for your patience. Please subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. The name is The Discovery Show TDS TV. I have been your host, Precious Adadidiodu, ably produced by James Kwabena, and we've been speaking to Mr. David Ameyaw, Executive Director and Founder of Holistic Nutrition Organization. He's also the Country Director for Syrian Research Institute that is originally based in Hungary, and now he's a chairperson for, the National Food Relief?
Ghana Food Banking Network.
Ghana Food Banking Network. So look at where God is taking him to just by an obedience. So, David, I know where you are going to because I trust God for your life. And I know this is just the beginning. Many, many great things and breakthroughs are going to come through just because you obeyed. Keep going. Don't be discouraged. Those challenges will come. But trust you me, he who has started a good work with you will definitely bring it to a perfect end. So God bless you. Have a wonderful time. And I'll speak to you later, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Life is a journey and sometimes can be a lonely road. When friends and loved ones forsake you, all you got to do is to be bold. I knew it years ago that those who undermine me had their minds undermined, but I never mind. They should keep on undermining because I'm a real good. I must undergo mining. Talking of mining, it leads to discovery. We mine to discover. We learn to discover. We observe to discover. Friends can uncover you at the same time discover you. But I don't want to discover you, I would rather discover more, so I go on the internet and I listen to words of wisdom and intellect. Availability of information, interviews of great men and women all over the diaspora and all nations. Creativity at its best, dexterity of research, no need to go through any formal education. I introduce you to the Discovery Show. Let your friends and your family know the struggles before they blow, their highs and their lows. Pay attention to this show, it will make you feel at ease. The Discovery Show on YouTube got the steez. Now Perry, the presenter, please pose for the camera. I want to hear you say cheese. We are airborne like a flu. I want to hear you sneeze. True. The Discovery Show is live on air, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. See ya. TDS TV, Yearn to Learn. Host, Harry Precious. Executive Producer, James.